he would run around me whenever he sees me come either in the kitchen or in the living room. And you know what they say, you want to make an episode of today. It could be an episode of woodchuck process again. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood? Look at the color of the back of this leaf. I mean, even if it now over there is silent, and I have put this pile of wood here. That's the latest. Hello, it is just midnight. It just hit midnight about 10 seconds ago. And today is Friday, June 23rd. At the end of the day, me and my dad will meet again. So the day has finally come. On Sunday, it is going to be his birthday, but today it is a day that we meet for the first time since the 7th. So, if you haven't seen yesterday's video, Smokey had his fur trimmed, but this time with the shaving razor. I put 3 clips of him having his fur being trimmed, and in that last one, he was looking really, really funny. His eyes looked like he exploded, but he was still calm. Basically, we got Smokey's fur trimmed again. Last time we did it with the scissors, and that did put Smokey under a lot of pressure. But this time with the shaving equipment, we just made it a bit quicker. And having come back, he looked like a rabbit that gasped after running from those wild cats, which in the neighborhood at my mom's house can get really, really wild when, you know, they can see like a bird or they can see a mouse, things like that. Yeah, when I said the mouse, if you thought of that story right away. And it's already after midnight, so it is a bit difficult to see all through here. I don't even know, but imagine the whole building is done now. Like, just imagine if the whole building is already done. So apartment's already ready. Just imagine that. You finally got the rooftop done with what is supposed to be 2+1. I think by 2+1 I mean living room and 2 bedrooms. Well, when you do the math, that's pretty much what you could actually think of it. Otherwise, they are planning it at 2+1. Like if I'm saying 3+1, then that's 3 bedrooms and then 1 living room. If that would already be done, then wow. By the way, the frick is that a night? The pizza flippin' heck is that? Like, what even am I? Am I like that wolf-sized dog? No, I'm only kidding. That would be like a German Shepherd, but it's not even that. He would like howl if that was to be the case. But my older cousin's dog, Buddy, he would get crazy in love. He would love it, and he would run around me whenever he sees me come either in the kitchen or in the living room, or who knows, even if I go out to the garden and he sees me, then he gets crazy. Smokey doesn't get this crazy, and yesterday he has looked a bit more like a ghost after the fur that got trimmed off of him. Clearly, he had his fur trimmed off, and my mom sent me 3 clips, and I got to put them in the video and show you a part of what the heck has been done. But it has been some sort of a silly day. But with Buddy, man, he is absolutely silly, and he kind of shows his love a lot towards guests. I'm not just gonna throw you more on my mind. Before we came to my cousins, we did go to my grandma's right before that, and I said when I left that it ain't as fun than if it would be with cats, right? Alright, well, enough with all that for now. So, for today, as soon as the sun comes up, what will I want to do before my dad comes? Certainly I will go to the fitness center. I'll do some athletics. I already took 2 days off. Yesterday I returned from my day off of squats, and I did a total of 73 throughout the day, in which my target being 60. So now in this stage I am doing a minimum of 60 squats per day. And you know what they say, you want to make an episode of today. It could be an episode of a TV series, which I'm not gonna give a name for this because, you know, there's like hundreds, thousands of them. But the subject is that I want to make a big episode out of today. You know, it's like scene one, I go out, get fresh air. Scene two, I go to the fitness center, do my exercise, and etc. So we'll see when the sun comes up, and just like that, it is before me and my dad meet again. Now that the sun has come up, and on the construction site, give it a maximum of 14 days, and then they will start working on the third floor above the ground. It's like that woodchuck process again. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood? A funny question though, but today ain't one of those days that there's a lot of wood chucking. Well, now there is. Alright, well, we can say that this woodchuck can chuck 300 grams of wood. How can I say that? And at least there's no truck. Well, that's something that only happens once a week, which normally would happen on Mondays, but this week it came on Wednesday instead. Well, if you put in piles of wood, man, I really like this riddle though when someone says, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? Like maybe that guy might chuck 9 or 10 piles while one other might chuck 15 or 20 piles, just as much. But how much wood would these construction workers chuck if they could chuck wood? Look at the color of the back of this leaf. I mean, even if it really was to be painted, I still don't believe this, but look at that. Like on one side it is, well, as it is, green. But on the other side, like if you look at the back of this, then look at the color of that. Like, how would that happen? Never have I thought that I would see a back of a leaf in the color of mint. I was absolutely astonished. Last week, I had made a visit to my school, and I've been told that they are finishing school today. Basically, my old school is about to go on summer break, as it is. Now, heading for a early workout. It's not even midday yet, actually it's 11:48. Despite that, already getting to work. I've already done a couple of rounds of squats. I'll do all of that while I am waiting for the cleaning lady to come over. And whoop, man, it is like I would need a double fan here still. I checked the weather forecast, and the only day that shows that maybe it might be overcast and that might give us some moisture would be either Monday or Tuesday. Other than that, it is going to give us the need of a double fan, maybe a triple fan, or whatever you call that thing that you swing when you get too hot. Now I'll try my hat. I'll see if that will work. Oh, dang it, even my hat didn't work. When you come into this JBL store, the Bluetooth headphones, you can see this speaker at the entrance. I'll come a bit closer and I'll show you the animation that it does. You can see it by chance. Yeah, due to the shadowing, but it does change colors every 2 or 3 seconds. Look at that. Look at the animation that it makes. And with the animation, it slowly changes colors. It's the shape of an 8 because this is 8K. Yes, as I showed you the other day, that is an 8K television. But man, I really like this animation. And you wouldn't even see this in a fitness center, especially at the room that there's a group cardio workout, or that room that has the bikes in the Mars Athletic Club. Well, it's rare. Another 8K TV set there, but even better. Look at these ones. Not only the animation, but the background of that too. There is a background color. Man, that's lovely. Life is too short not to eat well. Wow, what a slogan that is. Alright guys, now time for a one of the fitness. You stole the thing left from mine.
Talk is cheap, so why don't we just take a stand? So many days I've been away, just hoping you would find me. We're not okay, just feel the rage that's burning up inside me.
Unfortunately, I could not go any further than that at the fitness spot. It was still a really nice visit. Anyway, the day of those that my hip ache stopped me. I actually came here to do a lot more throughout this summer. I'm challenging myself more than this, but there's always a day that you will have to cut the wire off. You know, they say no rest or no excuses, or I also heard that one that people say yesterday, said tomorrow. To be honest, it was a great run on a treadmill. It was wonderful, but after that I could not go any further. I've already been to the fitness center, the Mars Athletic Club, 5 times this month. According to the application, if you go there 8 times a month, then you get a strike. No, in a good way though, in a sense of manners, where after you go there 8 times, they say, well done, you earned a strike. So kind of achievement. Not like that one that when your parents say, that's strike 1. If you get 3 strikes, you're going to timeout. Things like that. And it's a monthly strike, so that actually does give a sign of a benefit. According to the application, when you go to the Mars Athletic Club at least 8 times per month. And so the wood chuck still going on. Let's chuck the woods as much as we could chuck wood. Despite the temperature outside, some of the leaves are being blown off. This is ridiculous. Don't mind the woodchuck noise at the moment, where they put it all together. That's something different. But how can leaves be falling out, even though it is kind of windy actually. It is hot and windy, but many leaves are falling out next to that area that all the work is still going on. And while all that is going on, that has stopped, okay. But man, for a minute or two, plenty of leaves were falling down from all of these trees right next to the construction site. So I actually found the record for the highest dive, and I'm going to react to a bit of that. I found out that it is exactly 172 foot, which equals 52 meters. That is really high, but I'm gonna get right into it, see how it is. Oh my goodness, man. Imagine where the antenna of this thing even is. Now you're gonna start to see the person hanging on. Rick Winters. Whoa, my goodness, man. He looks really scared at this point. So apparently this is the guy that did the dive from the highest point. So this is the record from the tallest height. Diving from the tallest height. Alright, he is about to dive. Goodness, he's holding on to the... Like, look. We may get a word in with some of them. Like me climbing the Eiffel Tower. There's the pool. And... Is he ready? Look at that, the dolphins are even having fun. Even the dolphins can't wait. Even the canoeing boats can't wait. It's interesting how they can actually align the camera up this way. It's really good. Imagine if someone's actually even recording it from this high. I mean, I wouldn't even dare to do that thing. But there's a big chunk of audience right there. Oh man. Oh my goodness, man. Attempting new world record, 172 feet. Let's just watch how this goes. He's still hanging on to it, and there he falls. Well, oh! What? Goodness me! What? What? Woohoo! I don't believe it. Honestly, like, would that actually hurt? Like, what if it's not deep enough? You're falling from 172 feet. Like, you know, from pressure, you hold on to the sticks, and then you fall, do a backflip like a mermaid, and then bam, you hit the pool. You dive in the pool, and then you got a big chunk of audience cheering in front of you. I don't know, like 300, 400, just making up a number. And then you swim, and I'm like, oh man, thank God I actually did this. But just imagine if it would actually hurt. I think it's never easy dropping from such height. What if one of these construction workers falls down to this ground? Damn, I wouldn't even want to see that crap. Just some outside magic. Alright, so I just looked at the site, and in about 20 to 25 minutes the plane shall be landing, so it has been delayed by an hour. If I do this, or wow, okay, yeah, the outside magic did work. Like, you see why I did this. Then he flew away, and these guys started going nuts. They're nuts. I mean, it is okay for now in that field, but when they're like 5 or 6, group of 5 or 6, then they get insane. I'm not a fan of dogs, honestly. I don't like them, but when they get wild, at that point that one just bites another's back, then it does seem a bit funny to me. That makes me say, oh my God, this guy's about to surrender. Oh, by the way, they have already finished the constructions for today. Now over there is silent, and I have put this pile of wood here. That's the latest thing that was done here, but that is a lot of wood chucked. Yeah, apparently the guys are still in that area, the woodchuckers, because if you're asking someone how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood, and for how long, that kind of links it to how much. Because how long will you be able to chuck all the wood? Like what, 10 hours? In this case, it should be 10 hours. Okay, good. Having said all that, now I am waiting for the vehicle that my dad is at to arrive. It should take about 20 to 30 minutes now. Wow, what a freaking film. I'll tell you what's happening. So they're actually having a fight in an industrial store, and he's using watermelons, and like both their hands are bleeding at the moment. They're fighting really brutally, and he's throwing him on the back of a boat, I think. Wow. So now the long wait is over. It's finally happened, whatever's happened. It's 9:24 p.m. My dad had come back like 40 minutes ago, and it is still not completely dark yet. And I mean, it's not black. Don't have many new things. I'm not going to be able to show you a series of things I got this time, so it is going to be different. But we do have some stuff to take to Germany, and in a week from now it will be the night before our trip to Germany, and then the next day, July 1st, we'll head to Germany, and we will actually see what's around. We'll actually be going to Hanover. Now, let me talk to you about that movie. It's insane. I'll talk to you about that movie, right? So, in one scene, 2 guys are in an industrial store and they're fighting, okay? Like, one of them is pushing the other on the back of a bolt, and one of them is even throwing another onto a car, a windshield though. And then they get into traffic and they fight. Both their lips look rotten, and man, like, do I even want to say a rotten banana or what? But both their faces look rotten, especially their lips. And there's this one guy that is standing on 2 different cars. One of his foot is on, let's say that one of his foot is on the red car and the other one is on the purple car. And then the guys that are in the car get up and fight all of a sudden. So there's a lot of fighting, and there's a lot of attacking that movie. Like, it wouldn't even be enough if I say it's an 18 plus. Like, jeez, who the hell would even imagine having a banana war on the streets with a big gang group, like 6 or 7 people, throwing trash cans in one another's faces and using an entire garbage can just as a shield? So they get into that kind of a brawl. Like, they keep fighting, even though their arm's already bleeding and it just doesn't have the ability to keep going. Like, they just keep fighting. Yeah, guys, and when I talk all that, it even feels like my hand is bleeding. Like, if I'm chopping off potatoes and if I cut my hand from chopping all the potatoes, like in a cooking show, like if I have 10 minutes left, I'll make some potatoes and a dish that I can make potatoes and broccoli next to it, and all of a sudden I cut my hand. Man, it's coming a bit to that. So, like, why am I getting so tired of talking just because of brawls or drama, science fiction, whatever, Western fiction movies? But no, this is an action movie. I think this is like a first time on television kind of thing. So there's always a time that a certain movie would come up once on the TV. I don't know how frequently though. I wouldn't even estimate random time at all. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna put this vlog to an end now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really hoping that you enjoyed it. So it was actually a good day to see my dad again. On Sunday, it's gonna be his birthday, and we'll do accordingly. See you guys tomorrow.